Welcome back, everyone, to another stock market live stream. Woo! Today is going to be a doozy of a day because we are going to get to see how the market reacts to what we heard from good old Elon yesterday, what we heard from Visa, what we heard from Enphase. This is going to be really entertaining, mostly because we'll finally get some real institutional trading here, and we'll see what not just after-hours retail excitement thinks about our Tesla earnings call. Now, I have to say, overall, I was impressed. I think what they did in the earnings call and what they did in this earnings report was exactly what they needed to do. I'm skeptical by some things. I'm a little skeptical. How much FSD did they recognize? Right? We don't know. We won't know until the 10Q comes out. We won't actually know how different this whole different affordable models strategy is. Are we just talking, different versions of the existing vehicles, like a refreshed Model Y, refreshed Model S and X? Are we talking about brand new cars entirely? Previously we've sort of shown this cover image of what could appear to be Tesla future cars, right? And so we didn't get much clarity on what kind of actual future cars we might get. Of course, previously we had gotten those in this image. I'll show that right here. Previously, we had gotten this sort of cover-up, which sort of implied maybe a box van and maybe some form of compact car here. But we didn't really get 100% clarity here about are we just fine-tuning some of the vehicles that we already have, or are we indeed getting new cars? I don't know that necessarily matters, because we did get clarity on, hey, what we are going to do is, rather than go for a whole new manufacturing line, we're going to implement the best of that we're already aware of. We're going to start implementing that now to start seeing significant cost reductions, which obviously helped move margin, or presumably helped move margin. Again, we don't know how much of FSD they recognized. They said they took a substantial revenue recognition from FSD, but we don't know if that was from, let's go ahead and go right here. We'll see what they, we don't know I'll cover that in just a moment. We don't know if that revenue recognition was from, a lot of that margin. How much of that margin came from realizing FSD? See, in my sort of fundamental math, when I look at Tesla, lately what I've been doing is separating FSD recognition and margin. And so if Tesla's margin's up because of, billions of dollars of FSD recognition, then I'd be double counting in some of my math. So those are some things I'm going to be really curious about. Again, we'll get that revenue recognition in the future, and we'll kind of see how institutions give Tesla, Enphase, and Visa the workaround today. So we'll see. It'll be really exciting. I think the open market trading is always the most fun. So we'll see what happens. I'm not the biggest fan of post-market, mostly because I think it's so exceptionally volatile. So let's see here. What else? Yeah. So we just got durable good orders. Those just beat a little bit, which does include cars. That came in at 2.6% versus 2.5%. And then all the others, like durable ex-transportation, cap good orders, non-defensives, and cap shipments, non-defensives, those all matched at 0.2 as expected. And it does look like the prior numbers were revised weaker, though, on all of those. Durable good orders and cap orders, all of them revised down. For example, durable good orders, 1.3%. Revised almost in half to 0.7. Durable good ex-transportation, 0.3, revised down to 0.1. Cap good orders, non-defense ex-air, revised from 0.7 down to 0.4. So definitely some movement there. All right, let's see here how the market is opening up this morning, or trying to open up. Let's see. We've got Tesla holding on to about 10.8. ARM back up to $100 a share. Wow, that's crazy. You've got Supermicro Computer here in pre-market up about 4. Some of this move, by the way, could be because of Tesla arguing that they're going to release or have in service essentially up to 85,000 H100s, sort of reiterating that continued demand for artificial intelligence chips. Now, what I wanted a little bit of insight on would have been the AI refresh cycle. Like, what happens when we have 85,000 H100s and now all of a sudden we're like, oh, now there are better chips that are 4 times faster. You know, do you go replace what you have, or do you just process it basically 4 times slower than your new competition could, right? Now, of course, I know there's a data lack, and people are like, well, maybe, but what data are you going to process? So that's interesting too. So let's, yeah, we find that very interesting. So on the downside, you've got Enphase. Enphase dropping down to about 106. In post-market, it did go down to about 101. And so 106 really moves this almost nowhere. So we're, like, the lows are really feeling like you're getting this, or you're creating a consolidated down here in Enphase where it doesn't want to go any lower, which is good. But also, once again, you know, a miss on Enphase. And so it'd be nice to really see that turnaround. I'm not sure if we're really going to get it until we get interest rates that start to move down. But they are sort of forecasting what might be a bottom. You've got Visa that's actually been on a downtrend since about the 21st of March. That had a nice little beat, so that'll be up about 2.6. And Texas Instruments did help give a little bit of a boost to AI as well. So far, I have to say, the earnings have been better than feared, well better than feared. For example, look at Texas Instruments. You know, their forecast. Their forecast comes in at 3.8 billion. Their estimate was 3.78. So, like, a slight beat on already lofty expectations. CapEx expenses beat. EPS beat. For, let's see here. EPS forecast. 20 cents, 10 cents, 15. Q2 EPS forecast is missed by a couple pennies at the midpoint, but I think that top line beat there on revenue, just the fact that the bar was so high and the fact that they still beat is what folks are looking at. So, very good. Let's go take a peek at some of the earnings we should be expecting today. So, first, we got, let's see here. Boeing and AT&T. Okay. Let's take a peek at what we got. Thank you, Sender. The 10Q is out. Excellent. That is $281 million. Interesting. Okay, $281 million. That's not fantastically significant. Let's see here. I'm going to pull it really quick. But that is interesting. So, 281. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's see. Thank you for that. Okay. Okie dokie dokie. So, that means we had... I mean, really, that's less than we had in credits. And... you know, we beat outside of these credits anyway. So that's pretty good. So, let me see here what I have. Let's grab this here really quickly. Okay. Yeah, 18.5% margin, less Cybertruck. 281 in FSD recog. I mean, that's not going to bump your margin so terribly much. I'm not really worried about that. I'm going to do the math on it really quickly. Okay, so if I go automotive sales 16,460 minus 281 for FSD minus regulatory credits 442, and if I divide those revenues by cost of revenues, I'm just gonna go sales. I'll ignore leasing for a moment. Interesting. Wait a second here. Hold on a sec. See, this is just what I'm playing around with. So, cost of sales for the first 3 months divided by top line minus FSD minus credits. Well, that's actually, hold on a sec. Let me do without. See, that gets me 15.6-ish%. I think, well, they're running these with the leasing. Because without leasing and without service, you're about 15.6%. But they're over 16. And then with credits, they're over 17. So that means I have to, let's just pull it. If I pull everything in, if I go total automotive revenues, so if I take that number, 17,378. Oh, because I'm pulling the credits off of sales. Oh, okay, no, I'm just doing the math wrong. It's too early for this crap. It's too early. 541, and I'm looking at financial statements. What is this crap? I'm double subtracting there, so we don't want to do that. Okay, got it. So, but let's just take total automotive revenues here, 17,378. And then I'm going to take our costs, and we're going to go 14,166. Okay, so there's my margin. And that's going to be a cost of about, hold on a second here. That's with, so I get my leasing in here. That's with leasing. So with leasing and credits, I'm at that 18.5-ish level. If I now go back to taking out leasing from both sides, so we're going to take out 269 just to get a little clearer picture on the manufacturing. And then on this side, we're going to take out, let's see here. Hold on a second here. Total automotive cost of revs. We're going to take out leasing here. That's my leasing cost. Oh, here, 476. Now leasing's gone. Aha, there we go. Now I get to that 17.8. Okay, 17.8% margin with the regulatory credits. If I now take out the regulatory credits, I go to, aha, okay, let me write that down. Okay. So, let's just write down the bottom line here quickly. So, without leasing, we're at 17.8% vehicle margin, which is way better than expected, which is good. Without regulatory credits, so then we pull off 442. That brings me to, what do I have here? 16-ish. That's like 15.6% without regulatory credits and without leasing. That's still above the 15 everybody was worried about. Without regulatory credits, and this is without leasing. Okay. And then without reg credits, leasing, and FSD. So now I can pull out the other 281. Now some of that is going to have some cost as well. So I'd have to pull out some of that 281, I feel like, of the cost of goods sold side. Let's see. that brings my margin to 14.1. 14.1%. Okay, there we go. So, and again, if I go add, just for giggles, I'll put leasing back in. That brings me to about 15 even. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it helped, but, you know, is it really that much? I don't know. I guess that'll be up to markets to decide. But if I'm running a valuation on it, you know, this is obviously what everyone's paying attention to, is sort of this top line. But that is interesting. I mean, I do think it's reasonable for them to recognize the 281. I don't know how much cost goes into that. Well, obviously, that's being driven by a lot of the CapEx spending, so that's what's driven the negative free cash flow. I don't know. I'm going to have to play with this a little bit and think about it. We're very interesting, though. Yeah, 281 on FSD. I think the auto park was really an excuse, but that's okay. You know, it's not like it's ludicrous. Like, if they came out and suggested, oh, yeah, we took automotive revenues for FSD of, you know, $1 billion because of auto park, it'd sort of be like, wait a sec, this is a little sus. You know, so I don't think any of this is unreasonable. Good. All right, enough of that. AT&T beats with an adjusted EPS of 55 cents versus 53. Fiscal year EPS forecast to be 220. The expectation was 221. So if I go to AT&T, we have up about 4%. Very nice. Now I'm going to go take a look at Boeing. Haha, that's funny, Ellis. Yeah. Yeah, after we started doing bingo, other people are doing bingo. It's all right. Bingo's fun. Let's see. Q1 revenue at Boeing comes in at $16.57 billion. The estimate was $16.25. Operating cash flow was negative $336 versus $2.77 billion that were expected. So it looks like larger negative cash flows, but that revenue actually coming in better than expected, leading Boeing to jump a bit here. So even Boeing is jumping. Look at that. 3.44. Is this a bottom for Boeing? Ooh, Hilton. Let's take a look at Hilton. That's another good one for the consumer. HLT. There we go. Hilton up 4.5% after having this move right down to the 100-day moving average. Okay. Okay. Hilton Worldwide sees fiscal year capital returns of $3 billion. Net units 6 to 6.5. Q2 system-wide comp 2% to, what is this? 4%. Q2 net expected to be, it's lower than estimates. That would be a midpoint of, boy, that's a crazy number. Hold on, 443, 457. Oh, wow, no, that's 900. Oh, that's very easy. Okay, so 450. So the estimate for Q2 net was 450 million, the estimate was 457, and their current is 450. So a little bit of miss there on Q2 net. They're maintaining their dividend, and their adjusted EBITDA beat. So you had a nice beat for Q1, and expecting a slight miss for Q2, but honestly, it doesn't seem to be that big of a deal. And so a lot of enthusiasm for the stocks. Okay, so that's Hilton. Let's go with General Dynamic. Ooh, and Hasbro. So many consumer stocks this week. Actually kind of fun. Hasbro, wow, adjusted EPS comes in at 61 cents versus 27. Net revenue beat 757 versus 738 million. So has beats 7.5% up. Wow. Everything's beating. This is very good. Q1 EPS 288 versus 291. Quarterly operating margin 9.7 versus 10.2. Q1 revenue 10.7 versus 10.2. Nice. Beat at GD as well. Down a little bit, but then again, they've also been straight up. Wow. Very cool. Yeah, so far, just beats. Very good. Yeah. Okay. Let's listen in over here what they're saying.
Happening in collegiate sports with the NCAA, and that's something you know very well from your years as a coach in the NCAA and your years in experience now at Coastal Carolina. What do you think's happening with bringing in NIL?
That's a weird shot. Like, I feel like they're looking in opposite directions.
I think the biggest issue that I've got with regards to NIL is not...
Boring. Boring. Let's go to a different page. Let's see what we have. Let's see what the Doomers are up to. Oh. Nothing today, eh? Doomers just don't want to show up to work. Darn thing's not turning on. Should be on. I'll figure it out. Anyway. Alright. Fine then. CNBC's boring. Oh, yeah. Okay. That sucker decided to go to sleep. I'll get that fixed. No problem. So, now, let's take a peek at what the broader market is doing. So, these are a lot of beats. NASDAQ up about 70 bips. SPY's up 23. Dow's down 7, actually. Yields are actually up. 4.65% on yields. And I'll tell you, the latest Atlanta Fed GDP estimate came out, it was yesterday, was even higher. You got to see this. Look at this. As of April 24th, the GDP estimate was raised to 2.9%. Which really doesn't tell you. Oh, it was actually as of the 16th. And today we're going to be getting new numbers after these durable good orders. But the durable good orders on a revised basis were not great, but the current orders were good. So it's going to prop up GDP more. And so the economy is actually doing pretty dang decently based on this sort of data right now. The question is always, how long does it last? But so far, to say, this week's been pretty good. 5-year break evens. And across the board, too. Like, I'm not really seeing, like, a giant miss of anything. 5-year break evens, we're sitting about 2.44 right now on inflation expectations. Interesting. Okay, I have to walk over there and fix this darn crap. All right. Oh, there we go. It's coming back. All right. Aha. There we go. Okay. I think we're cooking with gas again. All right. Anyway, so while that resolves itself, let's take a look at the pre-market sticks. So Enphase down. Oh, right. Well, Enphase did have a miss. That's one of really like the few misses we got. Enphase, you've got DJT really breaking that $35 level, now down to 31. We got, let's see here, Sunrun down about 1% along with Solar Edge, probably just in sympathy for Enphase because their numbers are probably coming a little oopsie doopsie as well. Question: in a no landing scenario where inflation stabilizes above the target interest rate, what do? Do they adjust to land? No, I don't think so. I think there's no intention to land. Just You know, the goal continues to be fight inflation until the labor market breaks. That's where the Fed is and where the Fed will be. So right now, and with these earnings, I don't see a labor market breaking at this point. Anyone buying Boeing at a 1-year low? What do I got to do to get that house hack vest? You know, a lot of people asked for those house hack vests. Yesterday we had a great event in SAC, and San Jose was huge. We were on, and that's like the VC capital of the world. You know, the Bay Area. But yeah, we had a lot of people, and we got to do like a little sizzle video. We were out on a tarmac, just in front of the PP. That was kind of cool. It was good. Pleasure meeting everyone too. Look at Hasbro. Hasbro is really running here on this enthusiasm. So I wonder what Hasbro's selling for on evaluation. But yeah, a lot of people are asking about those house hack vests. We're like, oh, we didn't have to make like a merch store. No, we'll have to figure something out. They're a little challenging for us to get right now, but we could probably make more en masse. Okay, so adjusted EPS for Hasbro. Expectation for the year is $3.28. And if I take 51.14 divided by 3.28, I'm at 17.72. And the growth you're looking at Has is actually pretty good. Has is an interesting one. 1510 822 3719. Oh, interesting. That's this is under one peg. This is trading for, here we go, a 0.89 peg. Wow, Hasbro. That's interesting. Oh, well, that was based on yesterday's value, so you're probably at one peg now because of the 8% price move. All right. Hilton, AI, Tesla, Hasbro. Of course, Chipotle is going to join. Everybody moving up. Kevin, historically, after the first year of a second-term president, there's a huge collapse, says Mustafa. Ooh. Well, that means you still have a year left. And then obviously you got an election to get through, so get some time. What's up with Google and delaying tossing cookies? Oh yeah, I wonder how that's gonna affect Trade Desk with the UID. Trade Desk don't care. It's up 2.38%. Boy, I drove through drove by the Roku building in San Jose yesterday. Oh my gosh, it's freaking beautiful. Well, like how does a company I dislike have such a beautiful building? It's like a campus. It's great. Really, really nice. Good for them. Kevin, I got Nvidia puts down 50%. Should I cut my losses? Wow. I mean, anything can happen here with Microsoft and some of these other earnings coming out tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, so far, I don't know. The trajectory isn't very juicy, so to speak, on expecting a miss for some Nvidia puts. But who knows? Who knows? Somebody says, I hope Tesla doesn't crash before open. I need to sell my call. Me too. Please stay up. I have call option on Tesla. Jerry here helping pitch. Thank you, Jerry, for coming in. Jerry wants to remind everybody to check out the courses. Link down below. So I put the banner up for you. Let's see here. You know, Tesla, Strasla, whatever your freaking name is. Dude, you gotta take the stick out of your ass, man. The entire morning. Kevin just listens to Ross all day long. Kevin has this thought about Tesla. I'm just mad Kevin chose Tesla. Dude, shut up. So I tax loss harvested, and I could buy in cheaper. Shut up. Like, my God, just echo chamber of Twitter. Good Lord. And you're on YouTube. It's like, geez, Lord, it's finance, bro. It's not your identity. Oh, wait, it is in your case because it's in your name. My Lord. Joby Aviation. Yeah, I was talking to someone yesterday who used to work at Joby. Yeah, that would be. I want to look at that one. Let me look at the what's going on over at Joby. Let's look at the numbers. Joby. So Joby Aviation. So let's see here. Wow, those are some pretty negative numbers. So the issue is you don't really even have revenue right now. You know, $2.6 million of revenue at Joby. Doesn't Kathy own this one? Let me see. Kathy's Arc. Okay, let's go with Joby. No, I guess not. I thought they were in that. Maybe it's a different, what are they called? The eVTOL plays, right? No. Okay, interesting. I thought Joby was there. Let me see. Joby, Kathy Wood. Oh. They had a 0.13 position in Joby. Maybe they still do. 83rd largest holding. Maybe I'm just not seeing it in the history here. I think that's it. Okay, yeah, it's like a tiny little weighting. Oh, it's in ARC X. Oh, the space play. That's right. Okay, 2% weighting in there. That's where it is. Got it. And then it's in ARC Q with a 0.18. Got it. Okay, anyway. So, no revenue, basically. Expecting in 2025 to have maybe 45 mil. Wall Street projecting maybe 126 in 26, 355 in 27, $1 billion in revenue in 2028. Wow, those are some expectations. Expecting to lose money each year between now and then. And I mean, this is just Wall Street, but your EPS basically stays at about negative 69 cents for 24, 25, negative 66 and 26, negative 70 and 27. So basically it's negative 60. That's actually funny. It just averages out to negative 69 cents every year for the next 4 years. That's kind of funny. And then it goes to negative 21 in 2028. That's interesting. I guess you'd really have to understand sort of the growth play there and see what kind of products they're really pushing. Hey, look, Jimbo's talking about Tesla. Let's see what he has to say. Because yesterday on CNBC they were pretty negative.
I think that the Baird piece, which is C's turning point on bearish sentiment, this is now trading on sentiment. And the sentiment was so low, the Jonas stuff was terrific. The sentiment was so low that it was almost like if he just came in and said, listen, we'll do small car, and at the same time, we'll do a rideshare app. Well, I mean, look, do you think it's only going to be up 15? I mean, I think this thing has the possibility of being up 30 because the sentiment changed. Now, David, the free cash flow didn't change. It was bad.
No, and they consumed an enormous amount of capital during the quarter, as an automaker will, given how capital-intensive the business is. What is it, $2.5 billion? What was the number?
Billion.
Yeah.
So, Carl, I mean, you get to a situation where individuals love this stock. I mean, when we talk about what stock people want us to talk about, they want us to talk about Tesla. Well, they've been waiting for this, but what are they waiting for? I mean, now the app is cool. Like, you summon it. Well, you know, I summoned an Uber last night. It just so happens there was a person in it driving.
Yeah, the app is just mock-ups, but yeah, it's a cool mock-up. I do get concerned, like, how much of the stock is moving because of the mock-ups, you know?
Although he did say that version 12 is, quote, profound.
Right.
And we actually have Uber and Lyft moving on this today. I don't know if it's apples to apples, but Lyft is down 1%.
Look, I think that we're in one of these interregnum periods where everything that was bad, judging from, it was all like started by Supermicro and Taiwan Semi. Everything was bad, Dave, is now good. It's front seat, back seat. It's like...
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's the stock market. So somebody here donated $5 regarding CGI Inc., a multinational information technology consulting and software dev company. You know what I think of that kind of intro is... never mind. So this is, let's see here. Wow, 400 offices around the world, 91,000 employees. Business consulting, business process management, IT infrastructure services, IT outsourcing, systems integrations. It's a big freaking company. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about this thing, but wow. CGI is the name of the company. And they make about, in Canadian dollars, $7.70 on their 105 price. So you're trading for about 13.6 times. And honestly, EPS growth over the next 4 years, it's not bad. 945, 1171. You're looking at 16, probably about 10% of growth a year. So it's not exceptionally expensive, and I don't know anything about it. But yeah, the last earnings were in January. It's interesting. CGI. Yeah, I have to really look at it and try to understand what the heck does they do. But anyway, yeah, fascinating. Well, what do we got over here? Let's listen to the Boeing talk.
One big loss.
Yep.
Less than the street was expecting, but you still burned through $3.9 billion in cash.
Yep.
Is this the bottom in terms of free cash flow and how much you're going to be losing per quarter?
Yeah, I rather than address the bottom, this first half will be the result of a lot of dramatic actions that we've taken in this factory to slow things down. Synchronize all of our work with the supply chain, eliminate large portions of traveled work that we did in our factory to take a non-conforming part from a supplier and turn it into a conforming part. So we've made some dramatic changes. We had stand downs. So the cost in the first half will be real, but then we'll get back in normal order as we get into the second half.
How much different is the process behind you right now than it was 60 days ago, specifically in terms of the fuselages that you're taking from Wichita from Spirit Aerosystems?
Yeah, it's dramatic. It's dramatic. So we took all of the inspection process.
This is pretty boring. Spirit Aerosystems. They still want to acquire them. And then obviously, you know, the theory is, we'll be able to, you know, have safer planes because we'll in-house everything. It's like, yeah. Blame Spirit Aerosystems. Okay. I don't know. Boeing makes me so nervous. I don't know what's going on over there at that company. It's just weird. But anyway, Robert Judy says, Kevin, I missed yesterday. Did you provide any insight on Enphase? Yeah, we did cover Enphase a bit yesterday. But, you know what would be really interesting is looking at their earnings call. Let me pull that up. And we can go through that a bit together. So that'll just take me a second. Yeah, and I also see a lot of commentary regarding Tesla about this. Like, is the robotaxi going to be supervised or not? Like, they had a mock-up with the Tesla Model Y showing 4 seats available, but the Model Y has 5 seats available. So people are like, okay, is the front seat just off limits maybe? Or is this supposed to be that, you know, drivers get to borrow your car and you know, somebody's actually sitting there? Hence why they came out with the name supervised versus unsupervised. I don't know. Because then in theory you could start a ride-hailing network before you were actually fully autonomous and sort of groove that system in. It's possible. Okay. So let's go into the Enphase earnings call quickly. And what I'd like to see is the let's see if they're holding pricing steady. I'm pretty sure they were. This is electricity pricing, their buybacks. Look at that. Finally, they dropped pricing. They've been holding pricing for as long as possible to make sure they don't lower pricing to give people credit backs. And now, On a pricing dynamic, it looks like microinverter prices were down 4 or 5% over the quarter. You annualize that, those are like 20% price decreases. That makes sense, though. That's how you clear inventory. Right. And we measure something called average selling price variance. Okay. Customer variation. How much did you drop at a particular customer quarter to quarter? How your mix did. Okay, so they're trying to blame it on mix. Really, the effectiveness in pricing comes from customer average selling price variance. Are you dropping prices at a particular customer? The answer is we're very disciplined here. So what you're seeing is a result of mix, but we're, yeah, okay. So, my gosh, how many times is he gonna say discipline? Well, now I have to find that. Discipline. Okay, it's only 7 times. But as soon as he's asked about price, he says it 4 times. Like, oh, no, man, it's mixed. We're disciplined, we're disciplined, we're disciplined. Extremely disciplined, very disciplined. Disciplined. That's funny. Methink thou protests too much. Okay. Alright, so you're gonna blame mix. Fine. Fine then. Do you need to lower price? No, we don't. We don't play games like that. What a straight diss on like an Elon. Wow. I mean, like, he's like angry. No, you're seeing a reduction due to mix. Do you need to lower price? No, we don't do that. We don't play games like that. So we are disciplined. We will be disciplined. So you gotta convince himself now. Oh my lord, that's actually funny. There's like some anger in here. Let's see here. Electricity prices, fine. Okay, what about demand? Alright, a little bit on demand. A lot about demand. So, what I remember yesterday is they were talking a lot about how the second half was supposed to see some nice moving. And so they're very hopeful on the second half. The channel is clean exiting Q2, barring any meaningful mix or price changes, and demand staying basically where it is today. Oh, this is an analyst. Okay. Yeah. I think what you said is correct. Okay. Once the channel is normalized, we can balance out. Right. They're sort of reiterating the demand statement that was made, and then now the CEO is reiterating that. Yeah. So you're really looking at that second half. And so I think that's probably why Enphase isn't actually down more, is that they're trying to give this hope of a bottom, which they've been doing for the last couple quarters. They're like, yeah, you know, we think we bottom out in the first half of the year. And that's what they're sticking to, the same story. Is there any reason you would not be shipping at the $400 million level in Q3? That's a really good question. We do expect sell-through in Q3 to be higher, but if you were to say it is sell-through remains around, let's say, 400 million level, a sell-in would remain similar, okay, because we've taken all the inventory out. Right. So basically, yeah, then our revenues would be around 400 mil. But he's not really suggesting that they're going to hit that 400 mil. So all of that, you know, makes me optimistic that we should start seeing it come in better. Okay, so they're basically replying to this 400 mil question like, we just want to... The analysts are like, can we get big? And the CEO is kind of like, we can grow. You know, hopefully starting soon. All right. Good. That's interesting. All right, I don't want to spend too much time on Enphase, but that gives you a little bit of sort of a primer of what we're feeling out there. So, that's funny. Right. So, sounds like marriage counseling. Former Tesla president, company is pivoting to autonomy because the core business is weak. Yeah. Of course. You know, if you can't, you know, sell a lot of cars to new people, sell more stuff to existing people. Don't blame it. But yeah, I don't think that's necessarily untrue. I do think it's hard to sell cars in these times. Tesla's becoming the Model T of EVs in terms of style. It needs to change before other cars take over. Huh. Let's see here. Somebody here says Tesla Model 2 is shelved. Why buy a Model 3 or Y if they will be selling it for significantly less in the near term? See, I don't know if that's true. I don't think they're going to sell it for significantly less. I mean, yeah, there might be, you know, little $1,000 price adjustments here or there, or better financing over time, but this is what it is. You know, I think their mission has always been to lower prices as costs come down. And even if you take out regulatory credits and the FSD realization, it does seem like you did have a nice adjustment in terms of getting, you know, keeping margins stable in the face of all these price cuts. So we shall see. Sam here says Enphase is still risky. Someone says no bottom for Tesla or for Enphase. Did Martin Stressler? Martin V from Tesla, head of IR, did resign. Yeah. So I mean, what a way to go out though with a bang, right? Basically had a great earnings call, and then you dipped. You know, I've actually met him for coffee. Great guy. Yeah, I'm sure he's just, like, the level of stress he's had to go through has probably been insane. I could only imagine. Could you imagine just the bull crap you've gone through the last, like, year as Tesla IR? Oof. People tagging you every day. Anyway. Still strong demand for treasuries. Yields obviously up. You've got yields now at 4.64. Okay. Biden gains against Trump vanish on deep economic pessimism. Oh, see, now that's an interesting line. What do we have here? President Joe Biden's recent polling bump in key battleground states has mostly evaporated as a deep current of pessimism about the trajectory of the U.S. economy is hurting his standing with voters. An April Bloomberg/Morning Consult poll found Biden is ahead in just one of 7 swing states. This is similar to a Wall Street Journal poll we've seen. The reversion comes as poll respondents offered a bleak near-term view of the economy. Yeah, I mean, in the most near term, it seems like it's holding up. But yeah, there are definitely the potential for some cracks. So we'll see how that all expands. Interesting. All right, let's see here. Cheap stock strategies lose luster as market fears mount. Why is all of a sudden everybody talking about market fears? That was like so last month, or like 2 weeks ago. Investors this month have pulled some $200 million out of value-based ETFs. Value-based. Oh, that's interesting. All right. Yeah. A little bit of downside risk to Q1 GDP forecast. That's not the Atlanta Fed one. That's looking back. That revision on durables. Okay, yeah, that's fair. So you get a little bit of a revision down on Q1, but you're still up Q2. So talk here about bullish sentiment returning as hawkish Fed is priced in. I don't know. Is that really true? I mean, let's see what the market is pricing in. I don't know if the market's really ready to see Powell go back to hawking. You're pricing in about 1.65 rate cuts this year. All right. So, all right. Let's see what else here. No one asked if the 25K car or Robo are the same car or two different. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clear at this point. They're going to do whatever they can to make their existing manufacturing more efficient. And then they'll come out with probably refresh models and some form of new affordable models for the masses that could be in the form of an even cheaper Model 3 or some form of future car. But honestly, they really punted on the idea of giving guidance on, yes, there is indeed a new model beyond just a refresh. So really the guide was, we're just going to focus on making the best car we can with the best margin. And so that could be a combination. For now, that could be more efficient manufacturing and really keep that margin up, which they, in fairness, did keep that margin up. Or, I guess how to put it, keep the margin up, focus on growth later, probably. That seems to be the goal right now. So they do want to get their production capacity up to about 3 million units. I thought that was pretty decent. Now, what it'll take to sell those 3 million units, well, that remains to be seen.
Rarely been constructive on AT&T stock. Right. I would point out, by the way, Stanky thrown a little shade at Verizon, which reported numbers that initially were well received earlier this week and then kind of reversed. Take a listen when he talks about low calorie. Pay particular attention.
We now have about 71.6 million high-value postpaid phone subscribers, which is up 1.5 million from a year ago. And these aren't empty calorie additions. Our results reflect the quality of our customer growth with higher ARPU, higher adjusted operating income.
Yeah, I don't really care about this AT&T crap. Daniel here says, if they're going to license FSD to different OEMs, then what stops other OEMs from doing robotaxi? Yeah, I mean, I don't know, software button. You could use this, but you're not allowed to do robotaxi. Honestly, maybe they'd want to have other vehicles in the robotaxi fleet. So who knows? It's so far out, robotaxi, to me. At least without humans in it. I mean, you could literally create an Uber if you wanted to. Now, okay, you put a driver on the front. Yay! It's another, Uber or Lyft. You could do that right away, and that's great. But in terms of fully autonomous, I don't know. That's still years out for me. I do think it'll come, so I'm optimistic about that, but I don't think it's close. Gold, by the way, back down to 23.36 as we've moved into less geopolitical fears with the Middle East, and Brent sitting at 88. Summon nearby Tesla and drive it yourself to a destination. That doesn't require level 5. Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's an option too, is you could kind of think about it like a Turo, right? I suppose that's an option. You could kind of Turo Teslas for now. It's like, hey, summon this Tesla and then drive yourself. Yeah. I don't think that's really what people are most enthused about, though. I think the big dollars come from literally having no humans in the driver's seat. I think that's really where you want to go. Somebody says, I want a Tesla bot in the front. You see, I don't know that you would really need that. If you could solve the autonomy in the bot, you could just have the car drive itself at that point. An inability to execute is what prevents these companies from copying everything Tesla does. Well, yeah, I mean, there are plenty of legacy hurdles. There's no doubt about that. Let's take a peek at the queues, just see how we're moving on the minutes here. 59 bits. Oh, interesting. A little bit of a down move there. Will there ever be consumer tax advantages to owning a battery pack on your home? There are plenty of benefits on your home. Tax credits. I think batteries are actually pretty functional on homes. Mostly just when the power goes out, you're like, oh my gosh, please. Membership bundles and international prices. You just email us at staff@meetkevin.com and then we can help you out. Russell, you must be in a bad area with T-Mobile. You know, I'm not a shill for cell phone companies. I think honestly they all suck. Verizon sucks above all because their customer service is trash and they're D-bags. But you know, maybe I just had a bad experience. So I'm not a customer of Verizon anymore. But I have AT&T, T-Mobile, and Mint, which I realize T-Mobile and Mint are basically the same, but I want it anyway. For me, at least, they're usually the fastest out of all of them that I have, you know, or had, like between Verizon or Google Fi or whatever, although Google Fi probably also uses some other networks. But, yeah, I think that's the thing, is sometimes it's very location dependent where your service is good. There are definitely some areas I've gone to and T-Mobile's just off, and AT&T is the only thing I can use. Off topic, but do you think Tesla two-door car is possible? I don't think that's a priority for them, mostly because I don't think two-door cars are actually that popular in just sort of American culture. They're more popular in Europe. And it's less functional for a taxi, too. You know, yesterday we got into an Uber before one of our house hack events, and it was like, it wasn't even a 5-seater. It was a 4-seat Prius Prime, where it had like a center console in the back, and only 3 of us could get in. We're like, we feel like we just got robbed of a seat because, you know, we couldn't fit 4 people in it. So that was a little weird. There should be like a disclaimer, like, this car has less seats. Yeah, I don't think it'll be hard for Tesla to get a permit for autonomous driving. Yeah, I didn't like Elon sort of hinting that potentially, you know, he wouldn't want to build out Optimus if he wasn't there. Tesla, right? What are the chances institutions will reverse the Tesla after hours? High? Well, I don't know. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if you just get like a big red candle, but then you kind of start getting some, like, I actually think it'll move up. But I don't know. I mean, there's not really like a big negative catalyst today that says, oh, everything should tank today. I mean, unless I'm missing something. I don't have the Fed. There's really nothing on the calendar. You've got PC tomorrow. Wait. No, Friday. PC is Friday. GDP tomorrow. I mean, I'm not really worried about either of those. GDP will be positive. The estimate is 2.5%. Even if that misses a little bit, people will just cheer it because maybe it'll mean rate cuts sooner, but it won't. And PCE, we already mostly know because of CPI. So the catalyst this week were earnings. The earnings have been pretty damn good so far. so I have a hard time suggesting there should be a big sell-off today, but you know, I've been surprised before, so who knows. But yeah, I think there's a good shot of an uptrend here. Will you do a YouTube video for the house hack tour? Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So stay tuned for that. That'll be fun. Yeah, it was a little cold last night, but we were so honored they let us on the tarmac with everybody who was there. That'll make for some really cool pictures. And I mean, there were a lot of people there. It felt like, I don't know, 70 to 100 or something like that. And that was like VC capital of the world too, which is kind of wild. But that's very cool. We'll definitely be going to some smaller destinations. But yeah, very cool. All right, so remember, if you haven't yet signed up for the roadshow, you're welcome to join us. I think today we're going to Seattle and Spokane. Spokane will probably be small. A lot of people Seattle, I think. So if you're not yet signed up for the roadshow for House Hack, an accredited investor thinking about investing, got questions, check it out. Just go to househack.com/2024. There's a button to RSVP, and then you could RSVP for coming. So that way we know how many brochures to bring. Please RSVP. And look forward to seeing you there. So with that, it's going to be time to get ready for the bell here. Remember, next coupon code expiration is April 30th for those courses on building your wealth as well. So if you have questions between now and then, hit us up at staff@meetkevin.com. Here we go.
Let's get the opening bell and the CNBC Real-Time Exchange. And the big board, it is the UConn Huskies men's basketball team in honor of winning back-to-back championships.
Ooh.
First team to do that since 07 on the men's side.
That's up. That's up pressure is what that feels like right there. So you've got about 13% there on tests. You've got the Qs going up. You've got Trade Desk. Oh, ran up about 3%. That's pretty good. Hasbro's up about 9. Good moves here. Very good. You've got, let's see here, BTC. Ooh, what's with the BTC drop there out of nowhere? On the 1 minute, we're down. Oh, this has been for about the last hour. We've been downtrending on BTC here. Yeah, let's see here. Tesla keeps going. Holding on now to its 13.5. You've got Enphase is getting to 113 here. Enphase just eradicated its entire loss. Just disappeared on Enphase. You've got Nvidia. Nvidia is starting to show some red candles here. Supermicro, some reject. It looks like Supermicro. I'm going to write some of these down. So it looks like a Supermicro reject at Supermicro Computer Inc. That's rejected at 792. Wonder why. Then you've got BTC moved down, and then you have a down here on Nvidia. So that's almost a reject there. And Tesla's, we're trying to figure out what direction Tesla's going to go over here. So waiting for that. It looks like stabilizing around that 12.6 level right now. Very good. And let's see here. Okay. Then you've got, a little bit of, this is all on the average candlesticks. So let's just go, let's go to non-average for a moment. Yeah, getting a little bit of a red coming through there on that good old Tesla. Tesla, my Tesla. There's that 1175. Okay. So let's see here. Let's see. Okay. Then we've got, look at that, back to about 1220 here. So it's trying to stabilize. This is very interesting that the Qs are selling off like this. And it's always when you don't expect it. Let's see here. Yeah, look at that. Why is Nvidia going, and why is BTC going down like this? Is it like profit taking? That'd be like the only catalyst I could see. And then Enphase ran up to 113, and now it's pushing down 2.5% again. So the Qs, a lot of volatility right here. Let me listen to what they're saying here for a moment.
Diapers and Prel so badly that we gave them the house. We don't do that anymore. We just say, listen, we're going to take away. You want NVIDIA? We'll give you Texas Instruments, which, by the way, is up big.
And they're not going to use AMD or Intel in their own telecommunications infrastructure, for example, any longer.
How about Apple? I mean, Apple, Nike, what do we give them? We give them Apple, Nike, Estee Lauder. Starbucks.
Yeah.
And those are all doing badly because...
what else? We're forgetting something. And Tesla. We give them Tesla, too.
Oh, well, Tesla's different. Tesla's fabulous.
We do give them Tesla. The only company that's been able to 100% own its Chinese subsidiary.
Right.
Of course, that was very helpful to the Chinese EV makers, it would seem.
Absolutely.
Given
By
the
the way,
advances
Volvo
they've
had a
made
good
since
number.
Tesla obviously made Shanghai its home for making so many of its automobiles.
So what do you make of it? I mean, what do you make of the idea that we're talking to them and yet we have nothing to say? What are those talks like? We don't like you, you don't like us. Okay, let's have some food. I mean, come on.
There's so much I don't understand that I can rarely share anything that would be of value, Jim.
David, you never say that. You what you say is it's
They're knuckleheads. This is very interesting. you're getting this selling pressure here on Tesla that is fascinating. So about 10.6 right now. Enphase as well dropped about 3% here. Very interesting. So, okay, Nvidia's back up. So, I don't know if this is just like some temporary selling pressure that came in there, and that everything's kind of just going to tank here for a moment and come back up. But you saw this on BTC as well. This was very interesting. BTC now all the way down here to 65.9. Okay, here's that green candle coming back to Tesla. So a bizarre little like sell off there at open, and I mean, which is sort of what we predicted, right? And I don't know which way it's gonna end up going, but sort of predicted you get a sell off at the open, and then you get sort of a gradual rise on the day. I don't know if that'll be true, but that was my prediction, 10 minutes ago. We got the sell off at the open par. And Nvidia says that's recoverable. Let me go to average here. Boy, it was like so exhausting to not have the average candles on. I mean, it's easier for trading if you're playing like the 5-minute candles or whatever you're playing, but this is very interesting. So, coins only moving down 133 on that Bitcoin move down. Honestly, at this level for BTC, coin should be lower at 66K. Coin should be like 218. So that's interesting. There's definitely a little wedge that popped in there. Like a good wedge for Coinbase. Still holding on to about 11% there for Tesla. And looks like the Qs are rising. So we are getting a push up here. Ooh, Super Micro. Okay. Interesting. Look at that breakout on Super Micro. That's a day trade line, so it's not like really big, but BTC now recovering. This is so interesting. Huh. BTC is trolling us for no reason. Yeah, no kidding. How straight chillaxing. What are you doing over there on Twitch, dude? You're usually on YouTube. Costco, 73 bips. Yeah, it's funny. Yesterday we were joking because we were early to our event. So we're like, should we stop into Costco to get a hot dog? Or should we go to In-N-Out? And let's just say we chose In-N-Out. Oh, that's funny. All right. Intel's got a couple percent here, still sitting only at about, what do we got here? 35-ish seems to be the Intel level. Google, Amazon, these guys are all moving up. Meta, again, up about 2%. It's actually been sort of daily over the last few days here. Apple, 169. That's, seems to be where Apple's trying to get back to. They got the iPad event coming up, if you haven't heard of it yet. So I think that is May 7th, I think I put on my calendar. So we'll watch for that. ARM's up 7.6. Hey, you know what? Run, ARM. I'll just reload the short on you. I don't have any shorts on ARM right now. Yeah, we've got the Qs, which is still trying to move up here. Still moving up. And then some interesting selling pressure there on Tesla. I mean, up 9% is still great. If it was up, let's say 5% in after hours yesterday, and it ran up to 9% right now, people would be cheering it, right? So I don't think, I think they put on a very good performance yesterday, and I don't think they're lying. I think some of the things are obviously embellished. I think how near FSD is, or the semi-truck facility. But and I got a little disappointed when I heard the 4680s are just a hedge, sort of like Dojo. But I will say, broadly, they're doing the right thing. Focus on margin and focus on more production. So I was a big fan of that. Those are the two big things I care about at Tesla: more production, more margin. That's what Kevin cares about. And so I was actually happy with that. So I think it'll probably rebound from its little sell-off here. Q's about to be up 1%. Look at that. 5% on Trade Desk. Hasbro's now up 13%. Moved from about 8%. So an extra 5% there on Has. So I'm gonna write that one down. I'm gonna watch Has. We were talking about that one a little bit when we were looking at the valuation, and it's honestly cheap. Is what the sucker's been, which is good for them. Hilton. I wonder what the valuation's like on a Hilton. So let's see here. Hilton, you know, a lot of these hoteliers, they don't actually own the hotels anymore. They just sort of license them. So then we've got, yeah, growth at Hilton is expected to be somewhere around 20%, and the thing's selling for 28 times. So not an unreasonable valuation, it would seem. 1.4 peg. Doesn't seem horrible. So good for them. Little roller coaster there at the start of the day. It was like a weird profit take sell down, and then this first of all euphoric like rally the first minute, and then you had this weird sell down, which is now accelerating again over at Nvidia. Some bizarre profit taking or something going on here. Yeah, look at this. SMCI right back to that 792 line. Trust the lines. Always trust the lines. Yeah. Yeah, we did look at the Tesla 10Q just briefly, though. Somebody suggesting the automotive. Yeah, we have it right here. Credits were about, the FSD recognition was about 281. FSD, I'd have to find exactly where it is in here, but we were just sort of calculating some margin. What is this? Deferred revenue related to FSD. Free charging over the air software updates amounted to $3.5 billion as of March 24. Cool. But yeah, we can kind of click around and play with this here. But 9 search results. I'll have to figure out where their recognition line is. But anyway. Oh, look at that. SMCI goes for the bounce. Right on that line. It's on the perfect line. I realize it's an average candlestick. BTC recovery. Boy, what a volatile morning. Like, which direction are you going to go, NVIDIA? Like, pick a frickin' direction here. It looks like 850 is a reject point for NVIDIA. Ish. See, 850 has been a reject over here. Here. It bounced over here. It was a reject over here. 850 is a pretty strong line for NVIDIA. So you got some pre-selling there, it looks like. Coinbase only down 94 bips. ARM's up 6. All right. Let's listen in here from him.
Other than Amazon,
Yes.
of what Jensen offers, the world's, like I said, the world's his. Remember when Congress hated him?
Running. Are they also running Llama? Is that there? That's
Llama 3 is
which
done
is
with
open
NVIDIA.
source.
Yeah, but Llama 3
a lot of
runs
people
on
are
NVIDIA.
worried about that.
What, open
That
source?
open source, yeah.
Well, we hated it when he was closed source. Now
I know, but a lot of bad actors. And what are they going to do? Back to the AI conversation.
Hey, you know what? Yesterday, I sent someone a video, a video, and it wasn't Apple, and it didn't go through. Justice Department.
The green bubble
The green
phenomenon.
bubble made me feel much better about Jonathan Cantor.
Meanwhile, so much for that Vision Pro.
The green bubble's annoying. Sorry.
This is play with Jensen Huang. They're still keeping it as a consumer product. He's talking about the dramatic cut.
Ming-Chi Kuo, longtime supply watcher on Apple, says that they have cut their Vision Pro forecast for the year.
400,000 from 7 to 8. Look.
Yeah, what was it, like a 50% cut on the Vision Pro forecast?
For
I think
Apple.
we made the point a few times. It's very expensive. It's a very expensive
We need to
device.
see people to write things. And business to business, no. Siemens could buy 100,000 of these. If they make factories with them, this is Jensen. Jensen says, look, it's a business-to-business product, and Apple doesn't very necessarily, my point, do business-to-business. They like consumers.
Somebody here in the comments says, waste management never disappoints. Yeah, that's a little bit of a trashy stock, though. And its performance has been wonderful. Just kidding. I grew up with Waste Management. Now I have a different trash service, but when I was a kid, it was always Waste Management.
Remember, I got in a car that didn't exist. I got in a car that was a chair. I stepped out of the chair like it was a car. I almost slammed the door on my fingers.
Would it have hurt?
No, because there was no car.
Oh.
Are you able to step off like the cliff when they test you? You know,
It's
difficult,
yes.
right? Yeah.
I have to tell you, I looked under the hood. I kicked the tires, and there were no tires. And there was no hood. It's amazing, but no, they're using it just for like movies on a plane. It's not enough.
It's a lot of money to spend to just watch movies on a plane.
He's so good.
Thank you. Yes.
Your insight today is
Trenchant
extraordinary.
analysis.
Incredible. As I like to say often, I have that keen sense for the obvious.
Yes, you do.
It has stood me well.
Captain Obvious, right
Yeah.
here.
Jim, the other report tonight will be IBM. You got this Journal HashiCorp story going.
Yeah, look, I think IBM is going to have an upside surprise because this management knows how to do that. Hallelujah. And HashiCorp, I don't know. I mean, Salesforce wants to buy Informatica and everybody hates it. These guys want to buy HashiCorp.
Well, Informatica also denied that was going on, so it's interesting. I still don't understand why this BTC selling is going on today. It's so fascinating to me because the Qs are rising. Trade Desk is up like 5%. On what? I don't know. The cookie delay or something? I mean, maybe the cookie delay is actually helping Trade Desk. But that gives you more faith on cookies than it does on UIDs. So I don't know if that's supposed to be a good thing. But it's so bizarre. This weird sell down we've had over the last hour. You've lost about $700, $600-ish on BTC. I don't know if it's just sort of normal volatility here. Might be. But here are the Qs. Up 1%. You look at that no man's land. You could almost call this a 100-day moving average bounce. Not bad. Let's go to let's take a look at that. If I go to the summer of last year, we did break below that 100-day moving average, but we just had such a surge coming up to it. It was your moving average had some catching up to do. Traded under the 100-day moving average for a while there in 22, but it looks like moving right back up on the Qs. So we'll see what happens here. The earnings have been pretty good, so that's obviously been what's contributing here. And Trade Desk just wants to rock it. Looks like, yeah, right back to the 85 fib. Look how almost perfect these are. Riding on support over here, breaking support. Oh no, you fall right down. Pretty straightforward. Enphase recovering again. Tesla up again. It would drop down there into the 9s for a moment. Back up. So there's Enphase going back to 113. Yep, Tesla's trying to come back up. This is sort of what we talked about. Sell off at open and then slow sort of rise in the day. And I would expect that to continue if it weren't for this weirdness going on over here in BTC. So I usually like using that as sort of a little bit of a leading indicator. But SMCI bouncing off the 790. I mean, these are some of the things that are in play today. It's all pretty straightforward, it seems. But yeah, again, I don't necessarily see a large catalyst to the downside here in the near term, which is also always scary, and then it's like, aha, you weren't paying attention to the negative catalyst. It was the Fed all along. Who knows? Yeah, right now, see, I get headlines like this. Market is splendidly indifferent to rising inflation risks. There continues to be scant evidence of inflation hedging in markets, despite clear signs that price growth risks are rising. Wow. Interesting. Little demand for inflation hedges. No inflation worries. Investors are pouring money into growth versus value. Yeah. All right. It shall continue. Ooh, look at that perfect rejection on Trade Desk. You must trust the lines. Always trust the lines. Enphase goes positive. Wow. That's the second time now it's gone positive this morning. Tesla's holding up onto its 12. You've got NVIDIA It's up 1%. Not really exactly sure where it's trying to go. But, yeah. All right. So what else do we have? Let's see here. How's the 10-year moving? You've got, yeah, 464. I mean, we've been sitting there for a while on the 10-year. VIX hedge going into next week. Expecting more volatility next week. ARM looking like a waterfall. Really? Let's see. ARM. Yeah, that's funny. Ooh, Anthony has auto invest on M1, wondering which days to pick. Twice a week. Yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't know if there's sort of like a statistically like take some profits on Friday, therefore the market sells down, so therefore maybe buy on Fridays. I mean, that would have been true last week. Last week, Friday was the buy opportunity. I've always said BTC is a lead for the market. I know. That's why I'm so confused. I'm looking at it like, why? I mean, it seems to be rebounding, so I don't know what it was, but it seems to be fine. I wasn't really expecting any negative caddies today. And so far, I mean, Enphase is up 2% now, so far you're not really seeing anything. So, what else? What is this? UHC, United Healthcare, hack of the century, United Healthcare. Oops. UHC. Okay. United Health Care. Is that it? United Health? No, I can't even find the ticker. Oh well. Look at that. Q's straight up. Straight up on the Q's here. Greed and fear levels going back to neutral. Makes sense. Let's see here. Oh, UNH. Oh, thank you for that. UNH. Okay, what's the hack over here? And this is the week chart. Well, somebody's just enthused by their favorite stack. Okay. What else here? I was looking at the dot plot from November 23. And one of the chairs, or one of the members there, probably Goolsby, had the fund rate at 3% by Q1 of 25. Yeah. That probably would be Goolsby. It does sound right. I'm wondering if this is going to be selling to the close. Yeah. I don't know. Again, like, I don't know what the negative sort of news today would be. I mean, yeah, you could have some, like, Iran drama again. But, let's see. NVIDIA to acquire Run AI for 700 mil. Wow. Israeli-based Run AI. Okay. Hong Kong will start trading Bitcoin ETFs. That's cool. Oh yeah, how's Uber and Lyft doing? Uber's down about 2%. We've got some Tesla competition being talked about. Lyft's down about 1%. And those are nominal moves. So, pretty straightforward here. Yeah, NVIDIA can't figure out its direction. That's a strong rejection point there, apparently, for 850 for NVIDIA. Very interesting. So, interesting. Spotify comes down as well. Now, they had a good day yesterday. Yeah, I think they had a great day yesterday. I think yesterday on the... They gapped up 11% yesterday. So, 69 bip give back today is nothing. Affirm up 1%, bouncing on that 33, more like 30. Okie dokie. Qs are giving up a little bit right now. Yeah, look at that. Some of that Qs euphoria is giving up at the moment. So, But again, you know, you're just waiting for earnings at this point. What do we have left for earnings? So today, I wonder, should we do a live for Meta earnings? See, that's going to be a big moment for AI. Like, how much more are they buying in terms of AI chips? That would be very interesting. Oh, yeah. Thanks for pitching that there. This is tech. Yeah, househack.investready.com for that accredited investor letter. Yeah, remember the deadline to invest in Househack is May 1st. And if you want to come to the road show, we're doing a bunch more road shows. I got 7 more days of road shows to do. So it's a lot of work, but we enjoy doing it. I enjoy meeting people and talking Househack. So pretty low stress to talk Househack. It's pretty easy. But yeah, look at that Enphase run. What a run there. Some enthusiasm on maybe an Enphase bottom coming in there, huh? Very, very interesting. Yeah, a lot of people are excited about Meta Live. Okay. Yeah, I'm down to do that. NVIDIA has just given up. DJT given up under 35 as well. But boy, look at that Enphase run. You're just going to get rejected at 119 again? Probably. Qs continue to roll down, but again, that's probably AI driven. Even Trade Desk, look at that reject. Look at that. It's perfect. It's a perfect reject. Got to start shorting those suckers. I mean, that's sort of what at least BTC is pre-indicating, that this market's going to roll over. And so far, we're seeing some of that on some of the AIs that are running. But you're not seeing it on Enphase or Tesla, that's for sure. Apple, 0.5%. All right. So, with that, I got to make myself some more coffee. But yeah, Meta comes out later. And let's go ahead and push the button here. Keep in mind, April 30th, next price increase. We did just add a bunch of new lectures as well to various different courses, so check that out. Or email us at staff@meetkevin.com if you want to bundle up. Remember, you can also now get the Wealth Plan Library, which is basically our response to 37 different people, and they're like, what is the top #1 thing they should be doing next based on their financial portfolio. And so those are actual financial advice that we sort of anonymize, and then obviously it's not financial advice for you, but it was for them. And so it's a really neat product. So if you want to see that Wealth Plan Library, you get a lot of cool insights from all those 37 different lectures. So that's at the bottom of meetkevin.com. And yeah, see you at the Househack Roadshow, househack.com/2024. Click the RSVP button. All right, let's listen in here to the message.
Just close the fucking door. Close the door.
Even though I'm a licensed financial advisor, real estate broker, and becoming a stockbroker, this video is neither personalized financial advice nor real estate advice for you. It is not tax, legal, or otherwise personalized advice tailored to you. This video provides generalized perspective, information, and commentary. Any third-party content I show should not be deemed endorsed by me. This video is not and shall never be deemed reasonably sufficient information for the purpose of evaluating a security or investment decision. Any links or promoted products are either paid affiliations or products or services which we may benefit from. I personally operate and actively manage the ETF and hold long positions in various securities, potentially including those mentioned in this video. However, I have no relationship to any issuers other than Househack, nor am I presently acting as a market maker. What some bizarre movements here. You know, the market always seems to do things that you don't expect. And that's why I'm just watching BTC as my lead, and Nvidia almost went negative here. Now they're bouncing, and the Qs are bouncing, but you almost went negative there for a moment. It's quite shocking. And then Enphase basically nearly perfectly got rejected. Crazy. Anyway, thanks, folks. Go to the course member live stream. See you soon. Bye.